I'm just being filmed right now. The daily vlog. I've missed you.
Hey friends, welcome back to the vlog. Here with Willem, just hanging out, just grabbed a little coffee, and we are doing some book writing and script writing. Actually, no, we're not. And we are doing we're trying to do some script writing. We're working on a script for a video for the book Die With Zero today, and we're just figuring out how to do it, how to best phrase all that kind of stuff. But I should also probably be spending some time doing book-related things, so I'll do that too. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Time to table read a script.
Alright, so this is one of those days where there's not much going on in the vlog, and so I posted on Twitter being like answering any questions. So we're going to ask some questions. We'll do a little quick Q&A. Okay, question. Why is a building called a building when it's already built? Good question, no idea. Helen says, what do you want to do when you retire, or will you ever be officially retired? What's your focus in terms of which social platform to prioritize? Okay, this is a good question. Retirement. What is retirement? This should be a video for the main channel at some point. But I think retirement is like, I think Naval probably says this. Retirement is when you're not doing a thing for the sake of the rewards for the sake of the monetary rewards that the thing will bring. So, how do you retire? You retire basically when work becomes optional. And so one way of doing that is to make loads of money, and then you can retire. Another way of doing that is to lower your expenses so much so that like a baseline amount of money will help you retire. And a third way of doing that is to kind of love what you do so much that it really doesn't feel like work, and so you basically feel retired already. And for me, my strategy is a combination of all three. I want to make loads of money so that I have a strong financial safety net. I also want to try and minimize my lifestyle inflation so that my expenses stay relatively low. And I also want to make sure that I'm enjoying the stuff that I'm doing. And so like, will I ever retire? Probably not. There's all the stats that show that, after retirement, people will get heart attacks very quickly and stuff like that, because having something to do that feels purposeful and meaningful is profoundly energizing. And so for me, I think I would want to continue having some like finger in the pies of like teaching or like writing or reading and that kind of stuff. Samira says, what's the single most impactful book that you've ever read? Easy, 4-hour work week. What's the most difficult and best decision you've ever made? Most difficult and best. So far, the decision to leave medicine was a pretty difficult and probably pretty good decision. But yeah, whether that was a good decision remains to be seen. Robert says, you consider yourself an angel investor. Have you invested in anything? If so, what? Yes, a bunch of things. I have invested in a company called Riverside, who are amazing. They're how we record a podcast or remote interviews. Riverside are amazing. Invested in a company called Heights. Heights is a brain care supplement. I've invested about like 12 different companies. It would be a bit tedious to list them all. I'm going to do a video about this at some point, but yes. Check out riverside.fm. They're an amazing way of recording remote podcasts. I think that was the first company I invested in. Yeah, they're my first angel check. Biddy says, what's the most enjoyable thing that has come from internet fame? I assume it's meeting lots of great people, but would love to hear you talk about it. Yeah, basically the friends that you make along the way. So for example, yesterday I did an amazing, sick podcast interview with Mo Gaudat, the author of Solve for Happy. Mo is friggin' incredible. And through internet fame, through being like, hey, I've got a podcast and I've got a kind of big YouTube channel, so do you want to come on the podcast? It's a very compelling sales pitch to other cool people who then I can interview and then kind of become friends with. And I message him afterwards being like, do you want to grab food? And he was like, yeah, cool. So now he and I are going to be friends. It's basically stuff like that. So that's part of it. I think another big part of it is meeting creators, other creators who are becoming friends with people like, I don't know, Matt Divello or Thomas Frank or Hannah Witten or Simon Clark or, people like that who I met through the YouTube thing. And then the third nice part of it is when people come up to me in the street being like, oh, your stuff really helped me, it's really nice, can I get a photo? I always really like those sorts of interactions. That's pretty sick. Another underrated thing about fame is that if you become famous, I say fame in inverted commas because I'm not that famous, but if you become famous for to a niche group of people for some kind of value providing thing, it then gives you a lot of optionality further down the line. So let's say this YouTube channel business completely died and I lost absolutely everything. And I was like, okay, I need to find a way to make money. The fact that I am somewhat internet famous and I have built this sort of stuff over time means that it should theoretically be very easy for me to get a job. I could just post on Twitter and be like, hey, looking for a job, who wants to hire me? Or just message anyone in my network of people and be like, hey, you guys know what I can do. I want to work for you. What do you reckon? Can we make something happen? And almost certainly I'd be able to get a job within like a few days. if I needed one. So that like is a level of safety netting that I wouldn't have had beforehand. Scott says, what miscellaneous thoughts should we know about that do not otherwise fit the format of your social media work? Ooh, I don't know. Miscellaneous thoughts. I always have a bunch of thoughts about like meaning and fulfillment and like purpose and how to figure that stuff out. And I've been reading a lot about it. I was actually very inspired by something that Mo Gaudat said in yesterday's podcast interview, where he says that he works on about 5 different books at a time in parallel. And then on a given day, he sort of picks the one that he feels like working on. Now, at the moment, I've been working on my one book for the past several ages, but I also have thoughts floating around in my mind for other things that maybe will turn into future books further down the line. But I don't really explore those because I'm focused on just the one book. And I kind of feel that, if I'm kind of doing work stuff, it should focus on the unit of output that I care about, i.e. the book that I'm writing. But I might actually start dabbling with, I don't know, just tossing some seeds out there and like vaguely nurturing them slightly over time about these other topics that I like to think about that don't necessarily fit in my current like productivity, good life kind of vibes. Rudy says, what's the point to being productive and consuming endless amounts of books, podcasts, etc.? Like, what's the end goal? Well, good question. The end goal is happiness and meaning. Happiness, i.e. generally enjoying the day-to-day life that I have, and meaning being useful to other people. Another way of thinking about a good life is health, wealth, love, happiness, and impact. And I think the point of, quote, being productive, productivity is just using your time well. It's using your time intentionally. And if I can use my time intentionally, then that's great. For me, I'm gonna cook dinner for a friend later tonight. That's being productive. And so if I read a cookbook on how to cook, that's like a book that teaches me how to use my time more intentionally because I want to get better at cooking. This morning I spent some time doing some book writing, but it wasn't particularly efficient. And so if I read a book about how to write better or how to write well or systems or learn how to use a new app for keeping track of my book research, that is again a tool that helps me produce the creative output that I care about, i.e. the book, which I'm hoping will lead to either happiness, i.e. enjoying the day-to-day, or meaning, i.e. being useful to other people, preferably both at the same time. And that's kind of what I think about like being productive is. It's about how can I do the things I care about, the things I want to do, have the impact that I want to have in whatever small way that might be, while enjoying the journey along the way. That's the point of being productive. Hamza, I'm currently an M1, finishing up my first year. I don't know what that means. Your content and what you talk about really resonates with who I am. I wanted to ask you what led you to switch from medical to Creatorscape and what advice you have for medical students possibly interested in creating content. I have a 45-minute long video about this on the main channel. That'll be linked down below. It's a full exploration of why I left medicine. But advice for medical students interested in creating content, just go for it. Might as well give it a go. It's gonna suck for the first 100 videos or for the first year or so. It's fine, it's really good fun. And even if it doesn't succeed in monetary terms, it'll still change your life in ways that you can't imagine in terms of like the experiences you'll get, the skills you'll build up, the friends you make along the way. Super recommend anyone doing this. Aku, it's one of our YouTuber Academy students. Is a daily vlog worth it for a small-sized YouTube channel considering the amount of effort it takes? Probably not. I think we're probably in the days where like daily vlogs are not really a thing. We're kind of doing it because it's fun and we're kind of hoping they become more of a thing, but it probably wouldn't be quite worth it for a smaller channel. The thing that's probably more worth it is creating high quality videos that are providing value to your audience. Kes says, other than being the best version of yourself, who do you consider your biggest competition? I don't really think about competition at all. Like there are other people in the space of like, I don't know, trying to be general personal development people, people like Tim Ferriss, people like Matt D'Avella, there's YouTubers, there's podcasters, there's authors. Those are sorts of the people that I kind of keep an eye on, like, hey, I wonder what these guys are up to. But I really don't consider anyone competition at all. Like, I don't like thinking in a competitive sort of mindset. Are you interested in starting a startup? I reckon you'd make a great founder. Oh, thanks. I did start a company when I was in medical school. It was quite fun for a few years. All right, I think that brings us to the end of this vlog. If you'd like to watch yesterday's vlog, that's over here. And if you want to watch the playlist of the vlogs, that's over here. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, one more thing. I want to try doing like a little small Q&A in every vlog. And so if you're watching this and you're still here and you want me to answer a question, please post it as a comment down below. And chances are, there's currently very few comments on this channel, so chances are I will then answer your question in a future vlog. So we'll keep track of the questions and then we'll be like, hey, shout out to Jane for asking this question, here's the answer, blah, blah, blah. That would be a cool thing to do, so please do leave a comment down below. Anyway, playlist of vlogs over here, yesterday's vlog over here. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.